I have not seen this channel in so long. I mean, I guess it's kind of a reunion if y'all haven't been watching my gaming videos. Back on my base critique persona, I thought I should give some more love to this channel. I've honestly been a bit lazy, if I'm being honest, with some of the scripts I would have to write to get some videos done, reviews, and whatnot. I've been pretty lazy with that, but at the same time, I've also been kind of busy, and I've wanted to put more time into growing my gaming channel. Might as well give y'all a little vinyl update, I guess. Like I got time for it. Get some more vinyl out there. Last one did like 600 views. Yeah, I'm bringing that back for sure. Y'all must be crazy. First one, we have Chat Pile's Cool World. This album right here is one of my favorites from 2024 from the metal band Chat Pile. Absolutely disintegrating stuff on this record. Some very rough, rugged, insane, brash metal. Full on destruction throughout this project. I think this is only their second so far. Very deadly vocals, insane drum performances all the way through. Very concise track list, and there's just so many highlights. The singles were amazing. Yeah, one of my favorites. It was in my top 50 albums video, so double recommend to check it out. Really, really good stuff. I'm just hoping y'all can see it well. Next, we got Ella and Louis together. They make this beautiful duo. Separately, we have Ella Fitzgerald, and on this side here, we have Louis Armstrong, Louis Armstrong, whatever you want to call him. I always call him Louis. Very, very beautiful, subtle jazz record. Vintage, super vintage. The sound on here feels like you're back in the era that it was created, which was about 1950s. Very beautiful, I'm sure, for the time, and holds up really well nowadays. That sound is just so grainy. It has a nostalgic feeling to it. Even for being in a time that I wasn't around, it just makes me feel at home, and it feels very serene. It's the most calm that jazz can get. It's very beautiful. Beautiful vocals from both sides here. Ella has the voice of an angel, and Louis has a very, very distinct voice himself. I'm sure you guys have heard him on What a Wonderful World, so that's somewhere you recognize him from. Overall, some really, really great stuff from both of them on this project as they come together. They've done a few projects together over the years. I know Ella looked up to Louis growing up, and she's always been a fan, and they became friends and worked on this together. Worked on a couple things together, but this I would say is their best project. I'm pretty sure the biggest highlight on this is Cheek to Cheek, if I'm not wrong, which is a really, really great track, but I love almost everything on here. Check them out separately too. They both got some bangers on their own. We got Geese. I'm sure y'all seen this. This is a pretty popular album from 2025, last year. Geese is getting killed. It is one of my favorites from 2025. I really love their performances. I like how wild and sporadic things can get at some points in this record. There's a bomb in my car, right? Like that's one of my favorites. Trinidad? I think it's Trinidad. That is such a great way to just start things off. An explosion of an intro to this album, really. I recommend everybody check out Geese. I know they played on SNL recently. Y'all gotta stop hating, bro. Get into some more stuff. Seriously. They have so much to offer on this record. The vocalist is a killer, bro. The vocalist killed it. He killed it. So many great tracks. Pretty versatile track list as well. You got your softer moments, you have your more hardcore moments, all around different types of emotion going on, but I think overall some great stuff to offer here. Paramore's This Is Why. Now this may seem like, bro, a basic pick to some people. Hayley Williams completely outdid herself on this one. No disrespect to the whole team. Shout out the whole team. But of course, Hayley Williams is the face of Paramore and the vocalist that carries everything in her path. My favorite Paramore record, so much off of it that I still go back to this day. This Is Why is obviously an all-time classic for almost anybody. And Running Out of Time is my personal favorite that I keep going back to off this record. I think Paramore does a great job of keeping that rebellious rock sound alive that was, thriving back in the 2000s. Never really been a dip in quality with these guys. Shout out to Hayley and the crew. Also, I love all their music videos. Those guys are creative. We got James Blake's Self-Titled. This is James Blake, an electronic artist with the voice of an angel, and he has the sound engineering abilities of an angel. The man is really good at putting together the most hypnotic Just glitchy production known to man. Anything he says is just backed up by backing vocals and choir and little electronic touches, and even his inflections are nuts. A voice is all it takes to make something amazing, and that's what this debut record tells you. For his first record, it is my favorite from him. This dude killed it. We got Kate Bush's The Kick Inside, another debut. I'm going debut for debut right now. There's another debut coming up, but for right now, we focus on Kate Bush. Kate Bush wrote this, and I think even released this at about 19 years old, if I'm not wrong. Insane work. For the production already is amazing, but her vocal inflections on this are nuts. Her vocal ability, crazy. She belongs in a top 100 singer category. Kate Bush has the voice of an angel on this record. So many creative ideas. It's mixed very well, and I argue it's her most creative, one of her most creative efforts. You have Strange Phenomena, Kite. I like the Wuthering Heights. So many great tracks off this album. Check it out, please. You will not be upset with how amazing her vocals are on this project for, you know, her debut. Also, we share a birthday if you didn't know. We have Backwash. A lot of people probably don't know who this is, but Fantano reviewed her, and I checked it out, and I was not disappointed. One of my favorites from 2025 as well. Only Dust Remains. That's crazy. I forgot the name. Rap rock. If I'm not, I think that's the term to use. This is like rap rock, a rap rock project. From the Zambian Canadian artist Ashanti. She basically goes in talking about very political war topics with all the insane events that's been going on in the Middle East. She speaks on very sensitive topics there, sensitive topics about being a trans female, just in the world in general, and how difficult that can be for her. And she takes time to touch on these topics in a very passionate, aggressive way, kind of letting you know she's tired of the bull. A lot going on, and you know, it just feels like a very important record to listen to. It just feels very important. It's very eye-opening, I should say, very thought-provoking, and it really gets you aware of the situations around you. It's in your face, and it's just super heavy-handed. We got Freako. The title of this album is Where We've Been, Where We Go From Here. I'm sure a lot of people probably don't know who Freako is. This was a pretty under-the-radar album. EP. It might be an EP. Yo, can I get a fact check on that? Okay, so this is definitely an album. This is another debut project from the up-and-coming indie rock band Freako. I believe this consists of 3 members. There's Bailey, there's Nico, and I don't know if that's it. There might be one more. I could be wrong. Yeah, there was a third by the name of Luke Stamos, but I guess he's gone. So far it's just a duo band. But yeah, pretty under the radar indie rock record with some pop element to it. There are a few abrasive moments on here, but a lot more lush, and yeah, there's some pretty abrasive, but also some pretty lax performances on this record. A pretty versatile one at that for a very short track list. Pretty good stuff. I admit this isn't one of the biggest things I've heard out of 2024, but this definitely deserves enough love to be on vinyl. I just love the sound of this record. I think the production plays a strong part. The title track, Where We've Been, is amazingly paced and is put together really well. It's pieced together amazingly. Good stuff on here. Really good stuff, and I can't wait to hear what Freako brings next, because I'm sure it'll be nothing but better. Gojira with Magma. I believe this is one of their most beloved projects. I know from Series to Mars, I believe that's the title, is that one album is probably their most beloved amongst music fans and whatnot, but Magma deserves a lot of credit where it's due. Some of their most destructive metal known to man. Some great stuff to just headbang to, just get wild to, let out your inner demons, I will say, but keep that far away from me, of course. But yeah, super good time, super crazy time to be had with this one. Very wild style, very free-spirited record here. Great stuff. Some really strong highlights, from Silvera to Stranded to even The Cell, Shooting Star, Magma, the title track itself. There's just so many great moments on this record. This is Joni Mitchell's debut record, Song to a Seagull. Just song, not songs, even though there's multiple songs here. Song to a Seagull is, from what I know, is the beginning of Joni Mitchell's career. In my last in my last vinyl showcase, I did show off her album Blue, which is a classic in folk history. But this is, you know, this still holds a special place in my heart. There are still some really great tracks on here. Very whimsical record. Love everything on here. Love the storytelling. Song to a Seagull is just honestly an underdog in her discography. I know a lot of people don't really go back to it. A lot of people don't really talk about it as much as their other stuff, but you honestly got to give credit where it's due here. Gots to give credit where it's due here. This one needs no introduction. This is from Fiona Apple, When the Pawn. I'm gonna read y'all the full title so you guys can get a scope of how much there is to this title. How long? I think this broke the world record for longest album title, if I'm not wrong. I don't know if it still holds that record, but it did at one point. It might still. When the pawn hits the conflicts, he thinks like a king. What he knows throws the blows. When he goes to the fight, and he'll win the whole thing. For he enters the ring, there's no body to batter. When your mind is your might, so when you go solo, you hold your own hand, and remember that depth is the greatest of heights. And if you know where you stand, then you know where to land, and if you fall, it won't matter, because you'll know that you're right. Fiona Apple, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest poets to ever exist. I stand by that till I die. This is a classic. 10 out of 10. This is a classic album. This is a classic album. This right here is a classic album, and I'll say that again and again. This is a classic album. This is a classic album. This is a classic. It's a classic. Some of the best writing I've heard in the piano rock, jazz pop, whatever you want to call this genre. It's super genre blending. Some amazing, even perfect tracks. I would argue every track on this album is perfect. It's one of my favorite albums to ever exist. Some of the most sad situations one could be in with an ex-lover. Very toxic relationships she has been through, but she has also made it out of a stronger woman. She has made herself a stronger woman from these experiences on this record. Here we have, I don't know if you can see her name, but Maki Asakawa. Let me fix the light. Yeah, she is probably one of the best jazz blues singers I've ever heard, straight out of Japan. Known as the Queen of the Underground by who? Google, I guess. It's really great jazz pop stuff to listen to on here. Super distinguished blues sounds on this album that I just can't get enough of. Now excuse me while I struggle to put this back where I got it. Oh yeah, you're gonna slide right in there when I'm done with you. Come on. This one's a special one. Tierra Whack with Whack World. This is a 10-incher. All my records just fell. Hold on. This right here is my only 10-inch LP from Tierra Whack with her debut mixtape, Whack World. As many people think it's a bit underwhelming because of how quick the tracks are and how little they have to offer, I guess, in concept. Who cares? This is a fun record. This album feels like a carnival ride. It feels like the entire carnival, actually. The whole shebang feels like the entire carnival itself. It feels like an amusement park of a record. So many different exhibits to go visit. You have your carousel, you have your Ferris wheel, you have your Gravitron. It's just so fun. This entire mixtape is just so fun to listen to. Tierra Whack did some of her best experimentation in concept on this record. Every track list kind of bleeds into each other if you watch the whole music video situation. I believe it's exactly about 15 minutes long. This debut alone really lets you know that Tierra Whack was going to be one of those zany artists that, you know, could actually do it right without coming off cringy like some people. Very talented record. 9 out of 10, honestly. It's an amazing record, and I hold it very dearly in my heart. I think it's a very important mixtape for people to listen to kind of get a different side of rap. A more creative, more spunky side of rap. Very interesting, very refreshing stuff. I love going back to the whole thing as an experience. It makes it easier to listen to the entire thing. And actually, while I'm holding it, I might as well show you guys what it looks like. Yep, see-through. For the longest time, I was actually unable to get a hold of it. It was very expensive on Amazon for like way more than it needed to be. Like $400 more than it needed to be about. So when I finally found it cheap, you know I got it. Next, we got Porcupine Tree with Fear of a Blank Planet. This cover is very sick, by the way. This is a name, I don't even know how I got into them. I just randomly, I came across them one day. I think I was looking through albums online of just like stuff that came out in my year. They dropped an album in my year, but not this one. It was a different one by the title of Deadwing, which is also great stuff on there, by the way. But I decided to, take a dive into their other stuff, and I saw this record, Fear of a Blank Planet. And in doing so while checking out their discography, I found this record. Really great rock stuff on here. The way each track kind of progresses on, the structuring, once again, is some of the best I've heard on this project. Some of the best progression in tracks that rock has to offer. Very, very long tracks for the most part, but they kind of take you on a journey. It's kind of like the Yes situation with Close to the Edge. Super long, but really is a riveting journey while you're going through it. So each second you're really entertained by it. I think you go into each track kind of memorizing what they sound like for the rest of your lives. Next up, we have They Might Be Giants. Yep, that's right, guys. We have TMBG. This is their album called Lincoln. They Might Be Giants is like one of the first people to really do the whole comedy shtick in music and make it sound good at the same time, kind of balance it. I think they kind of pull off the whole comedy rock mixture very well. I know their more notable album for most people would be Flood. It has the song Istanbul. I'm sure it's very popular for a lot of people. Very funny stuff while also being pretty thought-provoking and topic. Kind of gets you trying to think about, there's a lot of layers to peel back within the writing, while at the same time being pretty tongue-in-cheek. Snowball in Hell is also a really great song. Very, very goofy, very childlike instrumentals at some points. Once again, there's much more layers to this project than you'd realize. Check out They Might Be Giants. Check out Lincoln. Really great record Lincoln is. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this project. Do I have to explain? Need I explain any of it? Ah, shoot. Need I explain what's going on with this one? This is Quedeca's Vanisher Horizon Scraper. This was my 10 out of 10 for 2025. From the moment I listened to this in the first time in New York on the bus coming back from wherever I was, I enjoyed this record. I really loved every bit of it. I didn't just enjoy it, I felt it in my soul. Every single track on this album. The entire album is an experience. I get some people call it overrated. I know some people would say I Didn't Mean to Haunt You was better. Fine, if you want, that's an amazing record too. But this is just cinematic. It's a movie. It's super concise. It's very cohesive. Everything plays together so well. Everything moves so well. Everything transitions perfectly. Overall, a very beautiful cinematic record with the most overly grand instrumentals one could muster. Ben Lasky is going to end up being one of the greatest to ever produce. Shout out to Quedeca. I think he's doing amazing things in the folktronica genre, right? A lot of folk electronic mixtures, pop mixtures, rap mixtures, everything. He does it all. I just can't imagine what he's gonna drop next. Also, before I move on, let me show you all the pressings. We have the beautiful, clear, kind of glittery pressing. And then we also have a very nice light blue with some little splatter dots on the all over it, really, but you can barely see it. Little glittery dots. But yeah, very, very beautiful. Next up, we have D'Angelo. May he rest in peace. Black Messiah. This is obviously his one group project, right? He did with the Vanguard. I like going for more of the cuts that, kind of deserve more attention, right? Because everybody knows Voodoo. We all love Voodoo. Black Messiah needs a conversation. I'm gonna make a video on this soon about why I consider it a classic. Everything on here is just beautiful. It's just some of his best writing, honestly, and I think it has some really, really interesting production points to talk about here. You have songs like Ain't That Easy. You even have songs like Another Life, which I think is a very, very sentimental track to play, especially since his passing. The dude had the voice of an angel and the soul of no other. Just get a look at that. Let's open it up real quick. Yeah. And then finally, my last record so far. Kara Jackson. Why does the earth give us people to love? It's a mouthful, not Fiona Apple mouthful of title, but it's still a mouthful of a title. Kara Jackson dropped her debut LP in 2023. It's a 2023 record. Before I really started diving too deep into music. This one, I'm so glad I checked this out. This is some of the best folk I think I'm ever going to listen to. Some of the most lush, some of the most calming, beautiful, tranquil, serene, whatever you want to call it. It's as calm can be. This album is the definition of tranquil. Yeah, some pretty emotional stuff on here as well, but also some very calming, very beautiful storytelling on this record. Some great writing, some really great written moments on this record as well. But yeah, I really suggest you check out Kara Jackson. Kara Jackson. It's one or the other. I always call her Kara Jackson. It could be Kara. I don't think I've ever been disappointed by Kara Jackson so far. Check her out. Give her some love. Yeah, I really recommend this debut to anybody who wants to try and get into folk. Folk is such a beautiful genre. And before I go, I have to show you guys the pressings for Backwash real quick, and then for my Geese record. I think they're pretty much the same though. Here's Backwashes, which is more like white, like kind of like a white than more than transparent, like a whitish gray, like fog, like a foggy color. And then we have Geese's, which I think is just transparent. It might be white actually. It's one or the other. Or it's clear. It's clear. Super clear, transparent, whatever you want to call it, pressing. But yeah, that's gonna conclude my vinyl update. I will notify you guys when I get another chunk. I thought I should let you guys know what I have so far, you know, in case you've been looking in the back of my room during my gaming videos. If my two communities even connect. I'm sure you guys are two completely different communities. But anyways, if you haven't seen Only Average, go check that out in the description below. That's my gaming channel. Hope you guys take some recommendations from what I've shown y'all so far, you know. I come here to give y'all nothing but the best. And if you don't like it, I mean, that's on you, you know. You gotta like at least one of them. There's something for everybody here. We got rock, we have pop, we have folk, we have metal, we have jazz, blues. Give it all a try. I'll see you on the next one. Bass Critique out. Like, subscribe, everything. Do it all. Do every single thing I just said. Goodbye.